Okay, recording is started. Hi everyone. Today is the 27th of May. This is the recording for the Model Registry bi-weekly meeting. Welcome everybody. A friendly reminder that this meeting is recorded and it adheres to the CNCF Code of Conduct. We have a shorter agenda today also because it's holiday in the US, UK, and other countries as far as I know. But I thought that there are a couple of items that we can use. I also see Leo's connected. Hi. So just going very briefly, we're keeping tabs on the any 1.9 deliverables. I think that the main ones have been tackled, meaning like the having a tag, having as well the Kubeflow website reflected. So if I go to kubeflow.org, we can see in getting started, we can see in components, there is a model registry section. This was deriving from pull request that was open for quite a few months actually. So this is just steps that concern the getting started experience, some tutorial on how you can make use of the Model Registry. As a reminder as well that this is an alpha component, so we're just getting started with it. And there is a small reference that piggyback on the is a summary of the architecture document that was shared as well previously. So in the Kubeflow website now you can find the section relevant for Model Registry. There is still some work ongoing for a few comments that I received from Andre, Matthew, Stefano, and following it separately. There is as well for what concerning Kubeflow 1.9, there was also the tag, the website, the manifest. We already cleared that one in previous meetings. And if I just go to Model Registry, if I go to the tracker for the 1.9, I think that we are in pretty good shape. Actually, I can mark this one as done. And we are in pretty good shape in sort of like having covered on all the bases that we were required. So there is still some, I would say, amendment work that we are keeping tracks on to implement feedback, as I mentioned. But I think that we covered everything that was requested. Ricardo, while I have you here, if there is anything that you think I've missed or something that you may want to add, please let me know.
Sure. I don't believe there's anything missing for 1.9, but ma- uh, since I was out for 3 weeks, I just wondering how was the discussion about the network policy for Model Registry?
Yeah, so about that one, I have a pull request open in draft. There is I wanted, let me see if I can actually find it. Let me just go to my pull request manifest network policy. So this network policy added originally it was added up to here. That was copy pasting from other network policy that are currently available in the manifest repository. I think that Julius asked me to specify the ports in addition. I mean, this is a bit of difference from what I can tell from other network policies. And further, I'm not sure that I fully understand this question here. So I wanted to try to I wanted to try to join the Kubeflow manifest, the the recurrent meeting to ask more details, because for as far as I can tell, this network policy is like as advised, is just a copy paste of what is available and just change it for the things that are for Model Registry. So there is this one open. I understand from previous one that this is not considered a blocker based on the comment from Julius. but still I wanted to keep tabs on it and have it added. So the only two comment is that it's let's say for the comments that I've received, seems to me that they were more specific to this network policy, but I've tried to define this network policy based on what I could find that was already in Kubeflow manifest. I don't know if it makes sense.
Well, sometimes I don't understand what Judas wants in their requirements for each component, but yeah, let's check with Judas what
Mhm,
exactly we need to do with this network policy.
mhm.
But if you're saying that it works on other environments, then it should work for Kubeflow as well.
Okay. Yeah, my main point there was to say I think that Lamparelli also tried to contribute there. What I understand from Andrea is that we were advised to copy paste an existing network policy. So this is what I did. So I'm just a little bit confused about the question. But as you say, maybe it's best more appropriate to follow up with Julius. So there was that. Anything else that I might be missing, Ricardo?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else.
Okay,
Um,
thank you. Then just also, there was a point here that we briefly touched on the previous bi-weekly meeting. Andrea, I know that I cannot join, Lamparelli cannot join today. So there was some suggestion on how to further improve on the storage container initializer example that we have for Kserve. So I've already contacted Andrea since I know that he cannot join today's meeting, and we will describe better on this item in GitHub issue so that we can sort of like keep tracks on the works. Moving on to the last item in the agenda that I think that we can spend some time because I see that Leo is also connected. So I think that we are trying to have this one as a community contribution, MLflow integration. So Leo, I see that you've added this item in the agenda. If you want to speak to that, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, yes, just just have like some question through my like investigation of like the like with the like the logical model of the ML flow and like the logical model we currently have and like the plugin based integrations and like the first question is like how do we assume that our users will like use the to hold their MFlow server. So MFlow server could be like inside like a Databricks service, or they can like hold their own server. So like, what's the assumption that because it's like this will like affect like the accessibility of the, like the model. Like both like the zero registry, like if we can retrieve the information we have, and also one thing is like how we like retrieve like the Onyx or like the pickle file from their like network. So like the second question is that like unlike the Hugging Face, it's like a kind of there's a like a global entry endpoint that everyone could use, but like Anthro, I think didn't exist one. So like how do we like store like how do we ensure like after we register the URL, so the URL maybe like kind of like ML flow dot slash slash started, but like how could we ensure that like the downstream, like the case or like other service still have the access to that file? So I don't know if we like in the module registry we can like download and upload to some like other registry
Mm.
or like inside like the Kubeflow network region, so like keep them all available for the downstream tasks. Yeah, this is my two questions.
Yeah, okay. So let me try to sort of like paraphrase what you said just to make sure that I understood you correctly. The question here is that MLflow registry is sort of like both uses it as a storage solution and as an index solution. So you have both the metadata information about what we are trying to import, or as well the actual physical location of where the model is registered. While instead in Kubeflow Model Registry, we, at least at this stage, we are more focused in metadata management. So basically your question is like, even if I import the metadata from MLflow to Kubeflow Model Registry, there is no kind of like guarantee about what is going to be the storage solution for Kubeflow Model Registry, and therefore trying to import. So is my understanding correct? Did I summarize correctly your question?
Uh, kind of like the most important question I think is like the kind of like we already have like the Hugging Face integration.
Yeah.
So like and of course like for the like the and we are like passing like the source URL like
Yeah.
to the kserve as like and we just don't actually download the model.
Yeah.
And we just use the like we kind of like the kserve to download the model from the source URL we give it. But like we can I think we cannot guarantee that for MLflow when we get a like download link from MLflow we are able to let the like we are not able to like which kind of just we can make sure that at the time we register model we can have the access to the link, but like we can uh make sure that later on if like other downstream tasks do have the access to the MLflow link, because like MLflow is like kind of like a private server or something. It's
Mhm.
not like a it's not like Hugging Face is like kind of like a it's like maintained by some company. It's like always available. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that here is like it's up to us to try to define some working scenario and make it in the hand of the users so they can tell us back. I think because the reason I'm saying so is that the overall arching goal is to try to make it simpler for people that are already having already some models in an MLflow installation of their company to actually use Kubeflow Model Registry without having to retype or do a lot of manual labor. Now, I think to your question specifically, I think that what we need to understand here is that if MLflow, the kind of like the storage part, can offer you a link like Hugging Face where you can have access to the model, then I think that if for our first iteration is perfectly understandable that if for whatever reason we have in Kubeflow Model Registry an index of a model that for whatever reason the MLflow server URI endpoint to just download that model is not available, then later on kserve inference service will not have access to that. So it's like you have a track of something in MLflow that, however, is we have the metadata, but we don't have the actual storage. I think is to understand first if we can at least have a pointer like GitHub raw URI or Hugging Face download URI, so that we can start with that. Because if somebody is importing from MLflow to Kubeflow Model Registry, I'm expecting that they are importing from a company installation to Kubeflow Model Registry for having in the same model registry all the models that they care for Kubeflow MLOps purposes. So I think in a first iteration it's fine to have, hey, let's say we have the model in MLflow registry. We are now importing the metadata inside of Kubeflow Model Registry. And then the Kubeflow Model Registry metadata are the ones that are coming with this import capability. But then when it comes to the source location for the model, then it's pointing to the MLflow download URI. If that is available, that is the thing that I don't know. So do you know how that work, or do you think it's like you can spend a couple of cycles to investigate if such URI endpoint is available for MLflow to just download the file for the model that you want?
Uh, I have tried. So it's pretty much I think it's like the I cannot directly like download like the link. So like MFO has a like API that can give you like a download link, but that link I think I right now I could only use that link to download the model via the another like via another API that MFO offers. So like I give the API that download link, it's download to the model to like somewhere on my disk, but like I cannot just like directly like CURL or like use
Okay.
that link to download the model. Yeah.
So maybe if you wanted, this is could be helpful investigation to make. Is like because like in Hugging Face, for example, the reason why we were able to make that import is that we have an API from Hugging Face that we are able to see the model card information. So all the a lot of metadata is available in that model card, and we import that in Model Registry plus the link to the actual model that we wanted to download. So what I would like to maybe is like if you have the time to dedicate to this investigation, this is helpful assessment I think to make. Is like I think that the question is are we able to treat ML flow registry as something similar to a Hugging Face or something similar to a GitHub repository plus the metadata, something like that, so that we can have as an ending result in Kubeflow model registry the metadata and the pointer to where to download the file. This is an information that, for instance, myself at this stage I don't have. And if you have some cycles, if you want to investigate further in this direction, I think is like, and then you can document it in the GitHub issue because I saw that also you've added.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you
yeah. I
wanted to,
created.
yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
if you wanted to dedicate a little bit more time to understand, because I think it could be helpful information to have this pointer. Yeah.
yeah. I can add things on there.
Yeah, awesome. And also to just maybe jumping a bit ahead, one thing that I'm not very indeed familiar with the, I mean, I'm not technical about the ML flow metadata document here. But what I remember is like as you shown here is that you have these flavors and then you can detect which kind of type of model variant it is. So for
Yes.
the screenshot that you have provided here, this is awesome because indeed for the flavors, we can detect that it's an Onyx file, and then also the model format then can be just one because that is
Yeah.
the version for Onyx. And I think it will be interesting to make this investigation for the type of, I think that the second point here will be um, given the K-serve model formats, and there are a few, but I don't know, I don't remember if they document it all available on their website, to be honest. Let me check. Because I remember, so these ones I'm looking for. So there was somewhere a kind of like a, not at the full list, because of course you can define your own, but yeah, here. So there should be, here is the list of the kind of like a default out of the box model format for Kserve. So it will be interesting to make a table that compares these model formats to the what is called flavor in ML flow. So this is
Okay.
also
Yeah.
could be interesting to do because then we can try to make the mapping
Yeah.
and then I think yeah, but it's like a so okay. So here I think is like, let me see if I can edit this one. And just real quick. Okay. Methodology informal is yeah. So this is one. These actually you capture it very well. So this is already the thing that we were discussing just previously. I think here we can add something like assessment of mapping. table from of ML flow flavor compared to a wait, is model for and this one is this one. So at least we don't forget. So yeah, so these are kind of like maybe the suggestion that I can try to give you if you want to spend some times. We really value your efforts here. Value.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Those are my questions right now.
Okay. And also, just today we don't have the others from the team because, as I mentioned, most of them on holiday. But please don't hesitate if you have this kind of question as well to just drop a message in the chat. Speaking about chat, also just a general reminder that we are opening the the channel. I mean, the Kubeflow Steering Committee is opening the channels also in the CNCF Slack. So eventually, it's like we can use the CNCF Slack. There is going to be a Kubeflow Model Registry channel already. So eventually, if you don't, let's say in time, we should try to use the CNCF Slack channel. But I'm pending for a kind of like a formal announcement also on the website. I just wanted to give the heads up. And yeah, so Leo, is there any other question that I can try to answer today, or are the feedback so far helpful for you to continue on your investigation?
Oh yes, yes. It's I can do my further investigation, and I just will like talk to you, on the Slack or anything if I have
Yeah.
further questions.
Mm. Oh, by the way, thank you for as well the heads up about the test container for the feedback and the iterations that we did in the Slack the other week for that one, because yeah, it's like it's like it was funny to see the environment variables being having different names if compared to test container for Go and test container for Python. So that was something that I didn't notice. So thank you for patience there, and thank you for trying out as well with different setups. Because I know that using Google ML metadata container on Mac sometimes is a problem, but I hope that it's like you got unstuck there.
It's okay. Thank you.
Mhm. All right. So that will be it, at least from what I could see in the agenda. I don't know if there is anybody else who would like to add any additional comments or agenda points of the last minute. Please feel free. Or otherwise, I think that is like we had a good half an hour of both, so I say, housekeeping and contributions. So going once.
A quick question. Currently, the registry, does it have any documentation on how does it download or upload to other registry like Hugging Face registry repository?
Okay, so Victor, sorry, your mic was a bit, at least I couldn't.
Okay, is it better? Yeah.
But if I
When is it?
understand correctly, yeah, please try to go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Any documentation when it comes to working with Hugging Face or any other registry or uploading, downloading, etc.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you. It was much clearer now. So for what concerning documentation for Model Registry in general, the place maybe to look for, I mean, beyond the website. So now, fortunately, on Kubeflow, if you go to Getting Started, if you go to Components, Model Registry, and Getting Started, you can see some examples here. And so this is just a general, very early on tutorials. Here for the tutorials, we focus on the most essential ones. But if you have a feedback about this, don't hesitate to raise an issue in the Kubeflow Model Registry repo to say if something you think is missing. But this is a sort of like a very general documentation. Very introduction level documentation. For the others, if we go to the repository and specifically to Python, you can find some more basic usage and some kind of like little tutorials for different use cases. As you can see here, for instance, like there is an import from S3, an import from Hugging Face Hub, and so on. So there is this information that is in client's Python, is in the README file. And let me see if I updated it correctly, but I think that here, yeah, you see, is like it's reflected as well for the PyPy index for Model Registry.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Then another piece of information that may help you at times, it depends really if you want to have some mappings. There is this logical model. I think it is, it should be also linked somewhere. Yeah, here, this guide. So for high-level documentation of logical model, check this guide. So in this guide, we are trying to document not only the logical model, but also some more details about some of the fields. And so this document, instead of docs, logical model, could be as well helpful at a time if instead of using the Python client, you are trying to use the REST API of Model Registry directly. So I would say mainly these three information, Kubeflow website, then there is the README for the Python client, and then there is this logical model documentation. I hope this helps, but if not, please let us know, and we can try to work it together, and maybe as a result, we also get some additional documentation written for that. So please don't hesitate to reach out in Slack or on this meeting if you don't find the information that you're looking for in this document.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So if there are no other questions, I think that thank you everybody for your participation and going once, going twice. I will see you in 2 weeks, but before on the Slack. Thanks again for contributing and being part of the community. Bye.
Goodbye.